If you're enjoying Pigoted Podcast, then why not sign up to our Patreon? You can find it at patreon.com/pigoted, and on there you get loads of extra benefits, such as early access to episodes. You get access to Pigoted Extra, which is extra content from our guests, usually about 45 minutes to an hour long of extra content every single week. You get merchandise, you get to ask questions, you get to be part of our Discord community. We have a Discord server where people chat and ask questions and discuss topics that have been brought up on the podcast. You get all that through Patreon, and it starts from just £3 a month. Plus, you'll be supporting the podcast. You'll be helping the podcast to grow, helping us to fund bigger and better guests and to pay for all the editing and that kind of thing. So please, if you are enjoying Pigoted, then think about signing up and becoming a Patreon from just £3 a month over at patreon.com/pigoted. Welcome to Pigoted Podcast. I'm Freddie Quinn, and joining me today is our comedian guest, Dean Coughlin.
Hello.
And also joining us, our comedian and expert, double whammy, is Ryan Gleeson.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
What are we going to be talking about today, Ryan?
We are going to be talking about Freemasonry, the internet's favourite subject.
I'm so fucking excited for this, mate.
Yeah.
Now, we had a chat about this last night at the gig, didn't we? You said that you sort of dabble in this, or you said that you had like a dog in the fight with this.
Yeah, well, one of my ex's dad was involved, so he had a little book knocking about, and he showed me it, and I was always trying to like work it out. But it's real hard. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what his name was in case
you can get murdered for that now.
Murdered?
Yeah, legally.
Wait till I tell you about my next one. So he had like a little book, and I was just like having a little look through it.
Yeah.
But you just can't understand it. So there's no point me looking at it.
What do you mean you can't understand it?
It's written in a real weird way.
Fuck off. It's got like its own language.
It's in English.
It's in English, but the way the sentences are written.
Oh, right. I thought it had been written like some weird, like ancient fucking... Yeah.
No, it was like the sentences are all in English, and they should make sense.
Yeah.
But when you read them, you go...
So it's not the language that's wrong, it's the syntax that's wrong, essentially. So it's like words that you recognise but are in the wrong place.
Yeah, kind of.
Or used in the wrong way.
Felt a bit like code.
Right.
Like code.
It is. What it is, it's all written in English. The only difference is that there's certain words missing. That's it.
There's certain words missing?
Yeah, that you would know by being a Freemason, but you wouldn't know. So if you lose your book on a bus or something like that, somebody picks it up, they don't know the secret.
This is like when girls in year 8 have their own language and they just put A on the rest of everything.
Yeah.
It
was actually in one of them things.
Did you suck John A's cock last day night, thinking that they're fucking clever? So what words are missing, or are you not allowed to?
You can't tell them that.
This is the big thing about Freemasonry. Right? Everybody thinks it's either a secret society or a society with secrets. They're the two big things.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And that is all bollocks.
Right, okay. So we'll pick on that first of all. I'll tell you what I think Freemasonry is in my head.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think it is in your head.
Yeah.
And then you tell us what it actually is.
All right, yeah.
Okay. So in my head, you meet in like a very old but grand building, and you all wear like ceremonial robes and stuff. And I'm basically doing the Stonecutters from The Simpsons, but it's basically just that. And you all sort of like swear into like a brotherhood or something, and then you do secret nefarious shit that no one's allowed to like know about and stuff. And you all sort of like look out for each other's interests and stuff in like a nudgy, nosy kind of like backdoory, slidey, handshakey sort of way. Yeah. And then you leave again, and no one's ever allowed to it's sort of like Fight Club for intellectuals. Like you're not allowed to talk about it, you're not allowed to acknowledge it, you're not allowed to say it exists, and then you all sort of go. And then there's different looks and stuff, and like handshakes. I know there's a handshake, I know there's a secret handshake, but there's different looks that you can give. That's like that's you're part of. Yeah, you're part of one of my gang. Do you know what I mean? It's like being gay in the 50s.
There's so many similarities with being gay in the 50s. You would not believe.
What do you did you have a similar thing?
Well, yeah. When you say like a big grand building, I don't think about that, because there's one in like Litherland, and it's got like 5 G's of conspiracy spray painted on the side of it. So it's not like a big. Looks more like a bit of a function room than a big grandiose type building. But what I think about it is it's more of just like not like a gentleman's club, but kind of like a bit of a place to just go meet up and be like, oh, Thursdays we go down and like just can you even have like a pint in there or whatever?
I'll explain when you tell what you think, what your thoughts are, and then I'll go. I'll
I kind of feel it's like it's sort of just like a bit of a meet-up place, and then you also help each other out, as in like, oh, so and so's quite old now, but he's been in it for years. His garden's a bit overrun, so can some of the lads go help him out?
You're making it sound like a fucking Labour club or something like that.
I think they want it to be like. I know there'll be things in it that stem back from years ago or whatever, with the Freemasonry and the like Solomon's temples and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's been reading the books.
I don't think of it like fucking like John's old or whatever. Let's go and help him out.
I think that's just
I think of it more like I have a £1 million contract that needs to go.
It might be all that as well,
and then they do that. That's what I think. I think it's all business related.
I think that's what they want you to think, so that like you're like, oh, it's a big secret, when really they're just like, do you want to? You can, because anyone can join it, can't they?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like you obviously have to go through certain like, say, initiations of joining.
That's part of it. Yeah. Basically, you both, well, Dean, you're pretty much right. Freddie, you're a million miles away.
Oh,
saying that,
so
they just don't hate the wives. They just hate the wives, and they want to go for the bevy.
In The Simpsons,
there
is a lot of similarities with that as well.
Yeah,
not with the tattoo and stuff like that.
We do.
So let's go through. There's two sides to Freemasonry. There's the lodge stuff, and then there's a bit you picked up on where you said about going for a pint.
Yeah.
Most of the buildings are old because they've been owned by Freemasons for ages. So you were quite right with that. Some of them are brand new. Some of the buildings are brand new. The lodges are all set out in the same way. There's chairs that are in certain positions because certain officers of the lodge sit in those chairs. So if I go through the lodge first, then I'll explain the other stuff that Dean's picked up on before. So the first, inside the lodge, you've got your worshipful master. He's the guy who's in charge of the lodge. It's his lodge.
Right? We're not just letting him skirt over that.
No, I'm not doing. I'm going into it.
The worshipful master.
Yeah.
Is he like top dog
of that lodge? Yes.
Yeah. So how many of them would there be in England?
It depends. Every single lodge has got their own.
Their own one. Yeah.
Once you get to worshipful master.
Yeah.
Once you get to worship.
Just point out, Freddie, you are now laughing at the Freemasons, so be careful because you don't know what happens yet. I haven't told you those.
Couldn't give a shit. Come at me, Freemasons. What you got for me? I'm already poor enough. What are you going to do? Unsubscribe from my YouTube channel? That'll hurt me the most.
He's adding to a long list of people Freddie now gets attacked.
God, Freemasons, if you really wanted to fuck me up, then you would like the YouTube channel, subscribe on iTunes and Spotify, and become a Patreon on patreon.com/bigoted. That's what I really don't want you to do, so don't do that. It's right. So once you get to worshipful master of your own lodge, is there any higher than that to go?
There is. It's not really higher. So there's a big thing in Freemasonry that everybody's equal.
Really? I thought it would have been the opposite.
Nope.
I thought it was like, genuinely, again, I'm going to reference Stonecutters in The Simpsons many times, but I honestly thought it was like, hello, number 17. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Number 17, you have power over number 81. You know what I mean? Like, go and fetch me a drink, bitch. I've been here longer than you.
Oh, that does happen.
Does it?
Yeah, but nothing to do with Freemasonry. That's just because every lodge usually has a bitch.
What, there's a lodge bitch?
Not an official title, but there's always that one person that's, oh, I'll do that for you. Oh, I'll do that for you. Yeah. Oh, yes, sir, I'll do this for you. There's always that one who's really keen.
Are they doing that to try and like, because they think it might like boost their status rather than something
it's like
they
why
have
comedians set up professional industry forums.
That's it.
It's like, I'm not funny, but I'll admin my way to the top. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's basically it's just somebody. There's usually somebody in a lodge who just goes above and beyond, just trying to, brown nosing basically. I'll go into why later on.
The grand brown noser of the lodge.
Yeah. So where you've got the officers of the lodge, and you start off when you first join Freemasonry. You're what's called, and I know you're going to piss yourself at this, Freddie. It's an entered apprentice.
A what?
Entered apprentice.
An entered apprentice. Again, gay in the 50s.
Yeah.
Didn't say that. So that's your first rank once you're initiated.
Entered apprentice.
Yes, there's 3 steps of masonry. There's entered apprentice, which is where you start off.
Okay.
And then you progress on to I'm trying to think what it is. I can't think what the second one's called.
This is like when you learn a martial art and you go like
white belt.
white belt.
White belt.
That's what apprentice
fellow
is.
craft.
What?
A fellow craft Freemason is so there's 3 stages. You've got entered apprentice, fellow craft, and then master mason.
Which one are you?
Master.
You're a master mason.
Yeah.
Oh
It
shit.
sounds more grand than it is, but everybody who's been in Freemasonry that's been in there for a couple of years, you move up the steps.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So it is genuinely like a martial art then, because
It's more like Cubs. Because you don't,
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily like learn stuff, do you?
you don't have to throw
You just-
people around and cuddle strangers in your pajamas.
Well done, Peter. You've got your embezzlement badge. You became the rank of Pussy Willow. That's another Simpsons reference I'm throwing in there. I'm
Yeah.
fucking on it today.
You've done your research, Freddie.
I watched The Simpsons.
Watch all the cartoons.
So okay, so you got these 3 different ranks.
Well, they're steps. They're not really ranks because, as I said, you're all equal. So it's not nobody's above anybody. You've got hierarchy.
But they are, though,
You've got
aren't they?
hierarchy, right? So you've got.
If I right, you say nobody's above anybody,
Yeah,
right? Like that's a cornerstone of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
If I signed up,
Which is a word that comes from Freemasonry.
If I really,
Yeah.
oh,
Cornerstone, 3rd degree. That's another one.
It's all like architecture and building type
It
stuff.
all
innit?
came
Back
from stonemasons
yeah.
in the. Well, it's been documented back to the 1600s, but it all started. The reason Freemasonry started was it was almost the first ever union for workers.
okay. So it was all the stonemasons getting together,
Yeah.
and going, listen, we are gonna fucking each agree not to like do stone stuff for like less than a 1 of whatever currency.
Exactly. And this
I
is before
realised
unions.
very quickly.
One of whatever currency.
I realised very quickly that I had no idea what they did. That's why I even said
Gross.
stone stuff. That's how much I knew about
stone stuff for bits of
stonemasons
metal.
from the
Yeah.
1600s.
So yeah, it all started out with that. So that's why there's the because it's all there's all ritual like you saw in the book. There's all ritual that has stood there from at least 300 years ago, 400 years ago, and it's all come. The secrecy was because nobody could write back then. Stonemasons couldn't write. You learned from watching somebody else, and that's why you've got the apprentice role.
I see. Right. Okay. So, why is it so shrouded in secrecy now? Then,
It isn't.
but
There was a big thing there was a lot of Freemasons had to go sort of underground during the war, for example, because the Nazis persecuted Freemasons. Hitler made Freemasonry and any kind of group like that illegal, and they were actively sought out and persecuted.
Is that
So
just
that's
because
why
it
they
was
went
like
underground.
a union?
He saw it as a
type
threat,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like they go, oh, they're a secret society, they need squashing. It's just like they band together to like try
Yeah.
and make a change. So
Yeah.
I don't like that.
you think the Jews had a bad time in Nazi Germany? These fuckers had to build their own concentration camps. Okay, that's gonna get me in trouble at some point in the future.
Couple of
Well, on this one,
subs
Freddie.
Right. Okay. So again, why have I got this perception then that it's all like fucking, like underhand?
Because there's things that we won't tell you that happen in the lodge. And it's not because, like, when you first join Freemasonry, when you get initiated, you get told when you're first brought in that if you disclose any of the secrets,
You're out.
you will be not only out, you will be tied at where the point of where the tide ebbs and flows for a period of like 12 hours with a rope round your neck and your tongue cut out. That's what it actually says.
That's what they tell you.
That's what they tell you. Because that's what it used to be like back in the 1500s. That's what
Yeah.
they used to do to people.
I feel like you're running a risk coming on here, pal. Fucking hell.
I'm Ryan Gleeson.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
like you need,
Mr. fucking Blackpool.
it's not like you need your tongue for your work or anything like that, is it?
Nope.
Exactly. You'd be absolutely fucked.
But yeah, the
No longer able to lick pussy for a living. What?
Well, there's always a way. You get to learn that in the 4th step of Freemasonry.
And that's where the term brown nosing came from. Another Freemason staple.
If you get a brown nose licking pussy, Freddie, you're doing it the wrong way round.
So
She needs a wash.
69 in that, I think.
Ah, yeah.
So how do I become a Freemason then?
By asking to join.
So you go down to a lodge.
You can go down to a lodge, or you could go onto the Grand Lodge of England's website and just say, what lodges are near me, can I join? And then that gets sent to the nearest lodge to you, and they go, do you want to join?
Should we join right now?
Should we do it?
Come join my lodge.
Right now?
Yeah.
Where's your lodge?
In Thornton.
Are you like the top dog in your lodge?
Not yet.
Oh, but there's plans.
Not yet.
There's plans. I don't want to be the...
I'm 2, 1. Just trying to work it out. 1, 2. I'm 3. So every year, everybody usually moves around the lodge. The officers will then move up to become Master Mason. So I've got 3 more positions to be into, and then I'll be the Master Mason, the Worshipful Master of that lodge.
So what happens when you're the Worshipful Master? What do you get?
The lodge will probably close when I'm Worshipful Master.
what do you get though? Do people like...
Nothing.
But people...
You get a new apron.
But I am...
An apron?
Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
Doesn't sound as grandiose when you say an apron.
Of all the things I thought you were going to say, a new apron was not. That's a prize. That's a prize for the person that didn't win on Ready, Steady, Go. That's what a new apron is.
You get that's another word from Freemasonry as well. Collared. You get a new collar as well.
Right. So why have you got an apron? Talk me through. So
the aprons you get, they are symbolic of the stonemasons. So you start off with a white lambskin apron, and it's blank.
It's just like fucking thingamajig, isn't it? It's just like martial arts.
Yeah, that white belt.
Kind of, yeah.
When you're a masterful mason, is it a black apron?
No.
What colour is it?
White. So they all start with the white apron, but then things get added to it. So you start
like
off with
Scouts.
Like Cubs.
Yeah, that's what I say. Cubs is so similar. Cubs and Scouts is very similar to Freemasonry.
I fucking hated Cubs and Scouts.
You don't get bummed.
Oh well,
that's
the main reason I didn't like it. I kept getting bummed.
It got me bum badge.
I just getting bummed and like, why don't I like this? Why am I not enjoying this? Did you like Cubs and Scouts?
I got the uniform, went once, and was like, yeah, not for me. This. I done that a lot with a lot of stuff growing up. I made my mum buy me the uniform.
Did you have were you there?
It's a green one with a little, what's it called? Like I don't want to say the wrong word.
Woggle.
It's a woggle.
A woggle.
I know, but it sounds like it's got connotations.
Sound of it.
That's why I stopped.
The Scouts.
Which?
It was like the Cubs or the Scouts?
The Scouts, I think.
Back in the day, they didn't mind being called that. That's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
So I used to go when I used to go to Cubs, this was like in the early 90s, and we used to still have the green cap and stuff and the jumpers.
Oh, yeah.
That's the uniform we used to have.
The green beret?
No, it was like a little peak, like what cricketers have when they play a tournament.
What?
Yeah, have you not seen the old school Cub uniforms?
No, we used to have. I'll tell you what we used to have, right? This is going back time. It was like shorts.
Yeah, it was a grey sweatshirt, wasn't it?
No, it was like a green sweatshirt when I did it.
Was it?
Forest green.
And then you put, it was like
blend in with your
Centre Parks green.
And your badges.
And then badges down the sides and that your mum would stitch on. And then
bigotry badge.
And then, what, sorry?
Did you get your bigotry badge?
Yeah, you got to stay out the kitchen for a week. Come and help me tidy up. No, I'm getting my bigotry badge. Fucking bitch. No wonder you don't get paid.
Make me a fucking brew, Mum.
Make me a fucking brew, man. I was also going for my Def Jam comedy badge.
Just sign this.
Make me a fucking brew, motherfucker. But yeah, you had like a neckerchief as well.
Yeah.
And then you'd sort of do it like that. It was like and then you had like a toggle.
Woggle.
It's called a woggle.
A woggle.
Yeah.
And then that was it. That was like but I'm not even sure if there were like grade uniform issue shorts. I think they were just whatever shorts you wanted.
Well, you couldn't turn up in like Hawaiian shorts.
What, age 8?
Yeah.
Someone's been partying. Yeah, but I mean, like, if you just wanted to wear like your school, I think I just wore my school
like
shorts
grey,
or something
dark
like
grey
that.
or something.
Yeah, but I fucking hated Cubs. I thought it was dog shit. I never did. I never managed Scouts.
Yeah.
I quit the week before I was supposed to go up to Scouts because I just didn't want to do it anymore.
It was just I never understood it, and they were like, oh, we're gonna go camping this weekend in a forest somewhere.
Was it Wadica?
Yeah, something like that. And it's like, do you want to come? And I'm like, nah.
Really, no.
And then, I remember one time, I used to play crab football in like this fucking sports hall. Do you know what crab football is?
Sounds very wrong.
It's
sounds right for the scouts.
So hang about. It's football where you are the crab, not the crab is the football. I think that's the. So we're not kicking around a crustacean.
Right.
What you do is you going on your hands and legs like that, like a crab, and then you're kicking the ball.
Just so like in nature when crabs play football in the sea.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, now that I'm looking back at it, it's a very convenient excuse to get loads of little boys to point their dicks to the
That's exactly
sky.
what I was thinking.
I've literally only just thought about that right now. Possibly I was pedo bait at camp, so that's interesting. It's those fucking bastards. What were they doing? Camp football. Yeah. And why do we need those dildos? Anyway, I remember doing one other thing as well, right? When we did, so this is horrible now that I think about it in retrospect. So they blindfolded us. Again, it's not that bad. It's not.
This has gone bad straight away.
The guess the finger magic trick.
You're now going into the room full of eels. So they blindfolded us. And they made us walk around for a bit, and they were like, okay, so you're
now fully disorientated.
He's now naked.
Yeah.
So we're actually at the top of the building now. We're actually on top of the building. Like they pretended that we were.
Was it like a trust fall thing?
Yeah.
And
what they did was they literally
just fall back onto that. You'll be all right.
Fall back onto my penis.
Maybe if you fall forward with your mouth open, then see how that one goes.
That's what the woggle's for. It's a cock ring, isn't
it? Oh, Jesus Christ. But they put us on like a raised platform that was about maybe 3 or 4 inches high, something like that, right? But they told us that we were on top of the building.
This happens in the thingies as well, doesn't it?
And but I thought this was just what happened. Like,
how did you not know you weren't walking upstairs?
Because so what they did is they got a ladder, and they pretended like you were walking up the ladder. Mate, I was like 7. You can convince a 7-year-old that Father Christmas exists.
Well, this is 3 foot off the floor, Freddie.
You what?
3 foot off the floor. This thing that you're actually falling off. You've gone up ladders. Well,
did you come back down the ladder as well?
You what? Sorry.
You must have come back down the ladders to get down to the 3 foot you were down on.
Again, I was 7. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't fucking thinking, like, I wasn't thinking like a rational adult.
If I put my 7-year-old up a ladder, blindfolded, she'd know if she was going up or down.
Would she?
Yeah. On account of the fact that she's normal.
Well, this was Cubs. It was different. It's a different time back then.
Vibes,
back then. People.
Yeah, gravity was different then.
Listen, children trusted adults a lot more back then, and so that's what my excuse is. So anyway, I thought I was on top of the building. We all thought we were on top of the building, but really we were on top of like a several-inch high platform in the middle of the sports hall, right? And then what our club leader did was push us off. And then we'd fall on the floor, and then we'd just fall on the floor. And that was literally.
Did you get a badge for that one? Or?
What, sorry?
Did you get a badge for that? Or?
No, I'm not even sure.
Broken ankle.
I'm not even sure why we did it. But for a millisecond, I thought I was going to die, and then I was just on the floor.
Just on the floor.
That was the end of that. And then you got to watch everyone else have to do that.
Go through that same turmoil.
And that was it.
The thing is, though, that must really hurt when you land. Because how many times have you gone downstairs and you think there's another step? And try and go down it and swat your ankle.
Sheer panic as well.
Yeah, but you know what it's like? As a kid, you're indestructible. As a kid, you can fucking fall down 1,000 steps and then you just brush it off.
Yeah. And
you get on with your day. Whereas as an adult, if I go down a curb that I don't know is there.
How do you know if you're going up or down it?
Well, I'm blindfolded at the time. I just have to believe what people are telling me.
Yeah.
But this is my point, is I fucking hated Cubs. And you said it's like Cubs.
Yeah.
So do you do all that mad, stupid shit?
What do you mean mad?
Do you play tricks on each other and have initiations and stuff?
Well, yeah, we have an initiation. That's how you join Freemasonry.
So what's the initiation?
I'm not going to tell you, but that's not because it's a secret. It
sounds like it's because it's a secret.
No, it's definitely not. The only reason, this is the reason why people tell you that it's secrets. This is the reason why. And it's because Freemasonry is supposed to be like a journey where you start out as somebody who hasn't really found themselves, and then you go through the different steps, and that's what makes you into the model person. You know, you're raising money for charity, you're helping people out, that kind of thing. And the reason that we don't, well, I don't anyway, other people will tell you, you can find it all on the internet. A lot of it's wrong, but the correct stuff is out there as well. But the reason I don't tell people is because if you want to join, it's for you to experience that. It's like me telling you on the day before Christmas Eve what I've bought you for Christmas. Yeah. There's no excitement then on Christmas Day, is there?
So I've got it here. I'm going to read it out.
Go on.
First, you fill out a petition requesting that the lodge admit you into its membership. That's a yes.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
After a process of investigation and getting to know who you are, the lodge will vote to decide whether to accept your petition or not. Once the lodge votes in your favour, you will be brought to the next meeting and receive your entered apprentice degree.
That's actually, they've missed a step out where you've got to be nominated and proposed by somebody.
Oh, have you got to do...
That's where blackball comes from.
I was just about to say blackball. They do the thing with little marbles, don't they?
Yeah.
And they just, you have like a white marble that's like...
A yes.
Yeah, big fan. And then a black marble, which is like...
If there's one black ball in the bag after you've all voted, then that person can't join the lodge.
Wow. Okay, so...
it's not anyone can join then?
No. That's why I said not kind of.
Yeah,
anyone
right.
can
Okay.
join.
Says here, once the lodge votes in your favour, you'll be brought to the next meeting and receive your entered apprentice degree.
Yep.
This is where you are initiated into the fraternity.
Yeah.
Each of the following degrees build upon the things you are taught in your entered apprentice degree until you are brought into the full Masonic light. God, that sounds culty as fuck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And given the benefits and all the privilege of being a Master Mason. In each of the 3 degrees, several things happen. : 1, you are brought into the lodge blindfolded at first. Thank you, it is just like fucking Cubs. And guided through a ritual in which you quite literally walk in your brother's footsteps and take a symbolic journey towards Masonic light.
Yes, you're guided round by one of the other Masons because you're blindfolded.
Not up some fucking ladders.
No ladders.
You're now at the top of the building. I've fucking been through this shit. Number 2, in each degree, you kneel at the altar in the centre of the lodge to take an obligation.
Yep.
You place your hands on a book of scripture from whatever your religion is and take a binding oath, promising that you will do certain things and not do certain other things.
Yeah, so what that means is... Freemasonry isn't a religion. Like a lot of people think it's a religion and it's in place of your own religion. The only rule is... to become a Freemason, is that you must believe in a higher power.
Oh,
whether that
really?
be your God or something else. Basically, the question that I asked myself was, did I invent myself? And the answer is no. So there must be something more.
A creator of some sort.
Oh, is that why you're wearing a Jesus top?
This is from Dogma.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, great film as well.
Yeah.
So could I join and be like, I believe...
Alanis Morissette in?
It does.
It does.
She's God.
She is.
That's what I believed in.
Sorry for spoiling it for everybody.
Go on, sorry, mate.
Could you say that? Could you go, I believe Alanis Morissette's the creator?
Absolutely.
I think it's a bit ironic.
But they don't ask you they don't ask you that.
No.
They don't ask you because it's your own business.
So I don't,
Right, okay.
I don't believe, I'm very staunchly atheist, so I could therefore not be a Freemason.
No.
Okay.
No, you just...
Or do I just pretend?
You wouldn't have
Just
to
ask-
disclose that you're an atheist. You could just go, yeah, I believe there's a higher power.
Oh, right,
And
okay,
then
but
they
that
go-
higher power could be like anything.
It could just be you could just go, I believe the universe is a higher power. Could you
Yeah.
do that?
Oh, okay, so you
Because
can
you
get
address,
around it.
yeah, you
All right.
address like the depending on which degree you're in, there is like an architect, if you will, of the universe. So that's who you're addressing, rather than your God or
Right,
whatever.
okay.
That's who you're addressing through when you're in Freemasonry Lodge.
So you take a binding oath saying that you'll do certain things and not do certain other things. So what sort of things do you have to do and what sort of things...
You can't bring Freemasonry or the Lodge into disrepute by arguing with other Masons. If you're one of the big things is if you've fallen out with another Mason, neither of you are allowed in Lodge until you've sorted that out.
Fuck off! Really?
Yeah, because
That's quite cool, that though, I think.
yeah,
Do you have like scraps in the car park or anything?
Some have.
Like call each other out on Facebook, like the travelling boxes.
Oh, mate.
That'd be so good.
This one's going out to you now.
Yeah.
Master Mason of Lodge 347. I'm going to fucking fight you.
You left
And you
my
can
guard
bring
in
your
the right
brothers.
state.
And you can bring whoever the fuck you want to bring. That's me being beaten up by both Freemasons and gypsies.
Yeah.
in this
You
one
went
podcast.
and you said gypsy as well. I said traveller. I was trying to stay on board, but
Really?
yeah.
I think after the impression, they're not going to be like, well, at least he's addressed us properly.
yeah.
You know, at
be
least
fair.
he showed a modicum of respect to the culture. Right, okay.
So
Yeah,
they
other
don't have
things
scraps in the
other-
car park then.
Well, some people do, but one of the big things is that you're not allowed to be put in a beneficial position simply by being a Freemason.
I thought that was all you did.
No.
So I thought the whole point of it was that you'd be put in a beneficial position because you're a Freemason. I thought that was the whole reason for joining.
Nah.
So you could be like...
Some people do join for that reason, but they don't last very long because they find out that actually doesn't really... It has happened in the past, but that's only because they're in it'd happen with any group. So a football club, for example, a five-a-side league, my mate's a magistrate, so is there some sort of nepotism there? It's exactly the same as that. There's no, you must look after this person. You're a judge, he's before you next week.
It's like-
you've got to look after him.
It's like,
That doesn't happen.
it's like comedy, innit? You book me, I'll book you.
Pretty much.
Type
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But like you all just have to, like, the people who live off you book me, I book you never like last too long because they're always relying off you book me,
You
I
run
book
out
you.
of places you can perform.
What you do is you just accept that everyone's like, you got your mates in comedy, you got people that you like, you got people that you don't necessarily get on with, and you just book who's best, and everybody just fucking goes
get on
forward.
with it.
Exactly, yeah. But you know that person, so you've already got a level of trust with them.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so you can't use Freemasonry as a stepping stone to sort of progress yourself in anything.
It says here, all of these are in relation to your membership in the lodge and the role you play as a Mason, and they are meant so that they would not pose an insult to your religion or to the laws of the state or nation. Number 3, once you have taken your obligation, you are, essentially, sworn to secrecy. You are taught certain lessons about Freemasonry and its symbols. Each degree teaches on specific symbols and builds on the last. These lessons teach moral and social virtues that are the building blocks of the Masonic fraternity and that inform everything we do when we meet together as a lodge. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what sort of lessons and symbols are you taught? Like it started off as stonemasons.
Within
so like
the
what,
lodge.
Like a chisel or...
Yeah, there's the working tools. So
It's a
there's
set square and a compass in it.
that's
what
the emblem, if you will.
Yeah.
Square and compasses.
A contract that says 8 to 12 weeks, but
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
that's 6 fucking months.
But yeah,
Dominic
there's-
Littlewood's always turning up like kicking off at them.
You get the dude from Cowboy Builders,
yeah.
fucking Nightmare Traders, Road Landlords,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
What's he fucking called?
Dom
that-
something,
is
in
it?
it?
No, not Dominic Littlewood. There's another
someone
one as
else?
well. But you
Oh, I
know
don't know.
you know about Dominic Littlewood, right? So this is so funny. When I first got with my other half, we were watching Don't Get Done, Get Dom. Do you remember that?
Yeah, right.
Where what they do is Dominic Littlewood would be like, these people have been, they've been given the runaround by DFS, and it always shows Dominic Littlewood sort of at a desk,
Yeah.
ringing him like,
With his laptop.
Can I speak to your CEO,
Yeah.
Janet Smith, please? You know what I mean? Like he's actually doing that. There's not a researcher. But anyway, my missus turned to me and said, I think he's amazing, Dominic Littlewood. And I went, amazing, Dominic Littlewood? She went, yeah, you know, how he's turned his life around. And I went, what? Apparently, she thought, and this still makes me laugh, she thought that Dominic Littlewood was a burglar that had been sent to prison and seen the error of his ways whilst in prison and come out of prison and decided to reform himself as someone that stopped people from getting scammed. And I have never once laughed.
Is there any
hard
truth to that?
None at
No,
all.
no.
None at all. What's happened is she's been told it by somebody
just took it as
who's
truth.
talking out their arse, and she's harboured that knowledge for
Yeah.
But she honestly had Dominic Littlewood as like Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, Dominic Littlewood.
Nice, yeah.
It was in her head. It was those three. So it was fucking wonderful to take that away from her. He works for the BBC. He's a journalist. You know what I mean?
That's so good.
Anyway, right.
Yeah.
So symbols.
Yeah, the symbols. There's tools, which they're all. Everything's designed. Oh, everything's in its place to teach you morals or the rules of life, if you will.
So what sort of morals do you need?
Don't be a dick. That's pretty much Freemasonry done.
But are there any sort of like iffy ones?
No.
So
No.
why do you need to teach them then? If it's don't be a dick, why do they need to be taught in the first place?
Because when you're in lodge, it's all very ritualistic. So it's because it's always been done this way. This is how we do it. And it's passed down from father to son, exactly in the same way that stonemasonry was. So there's a lot of things that not everybody.
Tradition's important then.
Absolutely, it's all about tradition,
Okay.
ritual. It's all about that. So we do exactly the same thing, word for word, that has been done since 1717. There's been a few tweaks here and there, but since 1717.
What, even like the same words? So you go like, heareth thou.
Well, it's just in it depends on what it is that you're doing, but there's no heareth thou and stuff like that, because that's just how things were written. That's not how things were said.
Right, okay. That's fucking mad. I've got another question.
Yeah.
Before we go through more of that,
Yeah.
what I just found on my phone. You know, you mentioned about blackballing.
Yeah.
Where you look at someone and you're like, I don't like the fucking look of them. I just look blackball.
Yeah.
Have you ever blackballed someone?
No.
Never?
No.
Wow.
In fact, I've never been in having a ballot where anybody's been blackballed.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I want to...
Blackballing's really there.
Like,
If you
legit,
know-
I want to be the first one.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
come to the fucking first meeting with my pants around my ankles and go to the fucking enchanted mason or whatever he's fucking called. Like, yo, suck your mum. You know, when we're doing this blackballing shit, you get me?
Yeah, that's not really. It's really there so that it, because you've got to be an upright and sort of honest individual. That's what Freemasonry's looking for in people.
Okay.
So that's really the only reason that you would get blackballed. Is like, I know that you've nicked something from somebody, but you've never perhaps been caught.
But if you had been caught, let's say you had nicked something. Let's say
Dominic
you lived a life
Littlewood.
like Dominic
Dominic
Littlewood.
Littlewood, yeah.
Dominic Littlewood wants to become a Freemason, right?
Yeah.
Now, in the past, he was a burglar, as we all know.
Yeah.
But he's reformed. He's changed his ways.
So if he's reformed, that's all right.
And now he champions
Now he's
consumer
Mother
rights
Teresa.
and lets people get vouchers off at Thomas Cook. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Does
Let him in.
that mean? But what he did is he robbed an old woman. Like,
Everybody's got a past.
okay.
So it's really what are you like at the point that you've applied to join Freemasonry?
Right, so it's not like what, but are there some things that you couldn't possibly, like if he was like a murderer or whatever?
I would probably say so, yeah.
Really? So there's only a probably to murder?
Well, I've not really looked at the exact rules of it, and it's all down to the individuals who are voting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't sit
you're-
right with you that he's murdered
Yeah,
someone,
if you're a
then
rapist
you
or a paedophile
Yeah.
or a murderer or something, you're definitely not getting in.
just
are
join
you?
the
Well,
scouts.
it's interesting that you mentioned paedophiles. Again, where do I think I'm going with this?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Though.
So we had somebody in on the previous episode who was a flat earther, and
Oh, yeah,
let's
yeah.
just say for
Are you linking
argument's
flat earthers with
sake-
paedophiles?
No,
Freddie?
no. Let's just say
That's where I'm going to think you're going with this, and that's where I'm going to carry on thinking that
Let's
you're
just
going with this.
let's just say that he was somebody who was into his conspiracies.
Okay.
Now
That surprises me.
Now I happened to mention that we were getting a Freemason in to chat about Freemasonry, and he told me that Freemasonry is actually a paedophilic sex cult.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Very excited.
It's because I love myths like this. These are my favourite things.
And basically, what it was a whole society based around
Getting
probably
children for celebrities and royalty.
sort of like what was the thing that Chef joined? in South Park.
Was it the Mormons?
No, the Scientology.
Scientology.
No. He joined he joined a cult of explorers that went around the world bumming kids. This was when Isaac Hayes.
That was when he quit, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was when he quit because he was a Scientologist, and they took the piss out of him.
Oh, okay.
So they killed his character off by making it look like he got indoctrinated into a cult that went around the world to have sex with young boys. That's sort of what he thought Freemasonry was.
Do you remember when I told you that I'll give you a list of things people are likely to comment and stuff?
Well, just sort of sticking with that.
Yeah.
If that's what it is, how do I join? No.
It's the kids that blackball you.
Go on the way.
It's blue ball and that.
Blue balling. So that's on your list of things that people think about Freemasons.
Yeah.
What else is there?
That it's misogynistic. Only men can join.
Can only men join?
Nah.
So women can join as well?
Yeah.
How many women are there on your...
The lodges are separate. So you've got United Grand Lodge. I don't think United Grand Lodge has any female lodges, but there's two sort of Grand Lodges that are specifically for female Freemasons.
Are they like as good as the male lodges, or are they like...
They're exactly the same, but with women in them.
Really?
Yeah, and they call each other brother and stuff as well.
Do they?
Yeah, it's the same. It's exactly the
well,
same.
Like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
It's exactly. Some of them have tashes.
Do their aprons look different?
Yeah, they're a frilly around the edges and pink. No, everything's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely, everything's exactly the same. It's just that there's women there.
It doesn't seem to me like the sort of thing that women would be interested in. Do you know what I mean? Because like women have already got like, you know, like groups of mates and stuff. It's men that become isolated and weird.
I think it's because their husbands have done it.
Ah, right. Okay.
So they're sort of like, well, if he's out, I might as well do the same thing, because that's how a lot of them started. It's the sort of the wives of Freemasons that sort of decided we want to do this.
I always see like, you know, when I watch like documentaries on like Vice and whatever, of like weird fucking cults and stuff. It's always the men that are pushing it and the wives that are like, oh, all right then.
Yeah. It usually ends with one guy trying to shag everyone else's wife as well.
I guess we will live out in the woods, and I'll raise chickens for the rest of my life. Then that's cool. That's cool. I do have a job that I quite like. No, I've got to move to the Outer Hebrides with you. Okay. So is it like that, or do they like proper want to do their own? Like is it solely governed by them, or is it like part of a bigger thing? I'm struggling to understand.
Right, so there is a hierarchy in Freemasonry. So you've got your lodge.
Yep.
That's under the eye of the worshipful master of that lodge. Okay, so it's their lodge for the 12 months that they're in the chair for.
Okay.
Then above that sort of governing body, you've got provincial, which is I'm in West Lancashire province. So then it's sort of broken down, like government almost.
Is that like a council of important people that meet?
It's people that have been through the chair, so they've already been worshipful master of a lodge, and then you get promoted, it's called, to become a dark blue, which is where you get a dark blue apron.
Fucking karate, innit?
Blue belt after white belt.
They're all blue after that.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what?
You've got dark blues and light blues. That's what the two names are.
Do you know what it's like in my head? You know when you get those cricket clubs or those bowling clubs?
Yeah.
Anyone can become a member.
Yeah.
As long as you don't be a dick. Yeah. Anyone can become a member of the club.
Yeah.
But if you've been there for long enough and if you're sound and everything, then every once in a while they'll ask you to be the captain of that particular club. But then above all that sits the fucking board of trustees and the committee, and they decide what night bingo's on or whether or not we should have that Elvis impersonator or whatever. And then they're the ones that make all the... Have I got that right?
Yeah, ish. Yeah, so you've got the lodge, then you've got the province, and then you've got the United Grand Lodge of England. So the guy who's the top dog in all of Freemasonry, in all of the UK, if not the world, I think, I have to double check on that, is His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent.
Oh, that's the dude you were slagging off before the podcast.
That was it,
yeah. You called him a pussy-o.
Yeah, he is.
So, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent is... Who is that, like?
It's the Queen's cousin, I think.
Who is that? Is that?
I don't know.
It's not. No, it's not
That's
Prince
not-
Andrew.
no.
So I was going to say, maybe there are some fucking validity
sort
to the
of
pedo
paedophile
things.
link, yeah.
I don't even think he's a Freemason. You know,
Cousin.
Andrew. Yeah.
What?
Cousin.
Whose cousin?
Queen's.
Queen's cousin.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Edward, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent.
Prince Edward, Duke of Kent.
Yeah.
I've never fucking heard of him.
He's the one who looks a little bit like a melted Prince Philip.
Does he take...
Prince
and-
Philip, like a melted Prince Philip.
Yeah, that's how. So you can imagine how he looks.
Well melted.
Does he take an active interest in it, though?
Yeah.
Or is it like when, like they say, all right, okay, you're the Duchess of Cambridge.
Yeah, it's not
or
an
whatever.
honorary thing, no.
And she's like, I don't give a shit about fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Cambridge, who cares?
I think he's got his own lodge in they have a lodge in his own grounds.
Wow, there'd be some
Yeah.
sucking up going on there, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
Can I do anything for you, Grand Dutiful
Yeah.
Master?
Back to the bitch.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Okay, so there's all those levels.
Yeah.
Right. Let me read out some more of this to
Yeah,
find
go on.
out what happens on the initiation.
While you get that ready, can I ask a question?
course
I've got
you can.
2 questions.
Yeah, go on.
Do you have a Christmas party?
Yeah, we do.
And what's that like?
Christmas. Well, this is where
the old go revolution.
this is where the other side of Freemasonry is. So the lodge is all very. This is the way you do it. This is what you say. This is how you walk. This is the way round you move. This is what leg you start off on. All
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is written pretty much in stone.
Yeah.
The
Chiseled.
other side of it is a group of blokes and their wives, partners, whatever, having a laugh.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Any
it. The
swinging
Christmas
going
dues are
on,
a
or?
piss up.
Keys
Swinging,
in the bowl.
Yeah.
not that I know of.
Set squares in the bowl.
Yeah.
So the second question I wanted to ask was, if you like, what happens if you like forget your apron? Do you have, is it like in school when you have like the
You have to do it in your pants.
yeah?
Yeah. You have to go-
Do they
you
have like a
come in the
bin
lodge
of
in your
like
pants.
old people's ones that have not old people like people who've left or
Some
whatever?
lodges will have spares,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's rare.
Do you get punished for forgetting stuff?
You not within the lodge. There's no real punishment for that.
Right,
If you're
yeah.
not properly attired, then you can't come in. So they usually just lend you one. But when you go downstairs, which I say downstairs because that's where ours is, you have a meal afterwards, which is where the fundraising happens and the charity stuff.
Right.
And usually, if somebody's made a massive cock up in lodge, then they'll be fined downstairs like a £5 or a tenner, and that goes to charity.
Let's say,
okay.
for example,
Yeah.
I was to join your lodge.
Yeah, right.
Now I come in and I'm fucking, what's it called, like entered apprentice or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're master fucking...
Worshipful master.
Worshipful master top dog.
Yeah.
Right? So when I come in, right, I'm in my little apron and you're in your apron.
You've already jumped to stage here. You've not been interviewed or anything.
All
yet.
right, okay. So when I come in, can I
You
be
get an
like...
apron straight away if you do
You're
get
that on
in.
your initiation.
You're going to be the only person that I know, but can I be like, all right, Gleeson, what is it fucking going? Or do I have to be like,
No, you have
your
to.
worshipful duty, sir?
Yeah, within lodge, you're not. You're called brother or worshipful brother, and your surname Scotland's your first name.
So I call you like brother
Gleeson, yeah.
Brother Gleeson.
Yeah. Or if I've got an office, so
But do I have to like address you with deference and be like, good day, Brother Gleeson?
not when you're talking to somebody like that, but when you're addressing people. So if you've got things that you're doing, so if you're, for example, let's say you're explaining the tools of your degree.
Right.
So that could be the gavel, which is a little mallet,
Yeah.
a ruler, and a set square, for example.
Okay.
You'd present them to the worshipful master,
Yeah.
and you'd explain what these tools were, why we used them, and what they signify, and you would address him as the worshipful master.
Okay.
Because all that part of Freemasonry is the bit that is, like I say, that's the bit that's set in stone. But if you're talking to me, if you're just talking to me as normal in lodge, then you just call me Ryan. But if you're doing something official where you would address me as whatever my office was or whatever my name was,
Brother Gleeson.
yeah.
That seems creepy to me, man.
Do you have to do like demonstrations to show that you've actually learned the stuff?
You get asked questions
like
when you
put
move
up a
up.
shelf and that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe
Draw
not
a
put it on the
straight line.
shelf, like, but
Or a 90-degree line down here.
but you know, like say, like you were saying in martial arts and that, you have to like, if you're getting graded, you have to
mate,
show that you
have
know
to-
what you're
You
doing.
have to do that and knock a load of fucking
Punch through a
stones.
stone,
Yeah, yeah. Shot through 3 stones. He's good in, mate. Doesn't
first
even need a
one-
chisel.
The first one is you've got to fuck the goat without lube. And then your second stage is you get a bit of lube. And the third one, you're allowed to take her on a date.
What's the whole fucking the goat thing? Is
I have
that
no
thing
idea.
Oh, right, okay. I thought that was like
It's just another urban
a
legend.
thing. Let me get this.
Yeah, you do have questions to add. You have questions to
Yeah.
answer. So when you move up, if you go from an entered apprentice to a fellow craft Freemason, which is your first progression after you've joined, you will be asked what happened in your initiation, and you'll be asked questions because you're expected to read on things like when you're given your apron as an entered apprentice, you're told before your next step in Freemasonry, you need to go away and read about science and nature and learn about that. And then you come on, and then the next one
to show that you're like disciplined in it. You're not just like
because that's what it all was all
whatever,
about, was growing a person. Because there was, don't forget, like when Masonic lodges first started, kids didn't go to school. That was only for the wealthy.
Yeah.
People couldn't write, so this was a way of getting everybody to a stage where they will be able to run their own business without being abused by people who have got the money and have been to school and know how to, get more out of people than they should be doing.
Yeah.
So it says number 4 here. After you are given these lessons, you are taught certain things that you need to know as a member of the lodge.
Yeah.
These are primarily the means by which we recognise one another and gain admittance to another lodge as visitors. They are our only real, quote-unquote, secrets.
Yeah.
The majority of these final lessons are taught in the 3rd or Master Mason degree.
Yeah.
So you get like the fucking 4-digit passcode.
Technically, yeah.
So right, okay. So there's certain things where you look at another person and you go like, oh, like scratch my nose a little bit, and then like
There's two things. There's
pick my ear and stuff, and they
There's
go,
a
he's fucking Freemason.
Yeah.
there's a token and there's a sign.
So what's the token?
The token is a password, technically.
So you just slip it into conversation.
No, it's only when you're coming in and out of lodge. Because when you're doing business within the lodge, you've got somebody on the outside of the door that stops just anybody wandering in.
Yeah.
And inside the door, you've got another guy just in case he gets killed. So you've got a guy inside the door, and there's a little window in the door as well. So from outside, you'll knock on the door, and you'll ask, "Can I come in?" If you're late, for example, "Can I come in?" And the lodges are all done in degrees. So you can be doing business in a lodge in the 1st degree, which anybody can come in that's a Freemason. You might be doing business in the 2nd degree, which is the fellow craft. Only those that have attained fellow craft Freemasons can be in the lodge at that point. So all the entered apprentices have to leave the lodge. And the same with the 3rd degree. So everybody below Master Mason has to leave the lodge if you're doing business in the 3rd.
Wow.
So you give the token when you're coming in, so that the person on the other side of the door knows whether or not that person is an entered apprentice or a fellow craft, because you can't see the apron through a little window like that.
Oh, right, okay. So you have to like go like popcorn or whatever.
Yeah,
and, they
and there's
go,
handshakes as well, which when you say there's a handshake, there's different ones depending on what.
So
degree you're
I've
at.
had it before where a owner of a comedy club has come to shake my hand after a set, and they have shaken my hand in a way that no human being shakes a hand, right? And it was like they were almost tickling the wrist and inside of my palm with something. It was very weird.
Yeah, that's definitely not Masonic.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck he was
I
doing.
used to do that just to freak people out.
Really?
Yeah, you shake their hand and you tickle the palm with your finger. And they go, "Ugh, what are you doing that for?"
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I thought it was like a Freemason thing. I assumed that
it's-
it was a Freemason.
That might be a
No, it's
Scouts
all
thing, that
about
one.
what you do with your thumb.
It's about what you do with your thumb.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, mate.
Little thumb wars.
One, two,
Little thumb
three,
wars.
four,
And then you
after
decide if you
Yeah.
win, you get
If
to
you
go
win,
up.
you're then worshipful
I was
master.
going to suck my thumb then.
I know, before then I was like, I might go with it.
He's just so
okay.
tickling. I haven't.
What
got-
else is there then? So there's the handshake and the token, and that's it.
Yeah.
But you're wearing a ring as well, aren't you? There, that's got
Yeah,
like
that's
the-
just because I am.
Oh right, okay.
Did you just
Yeah.
buy that just because?
Just cause.
You
I
can.
think I got it bought for me.
I might buy a big fucking medallion.
Yeah.
Like
Like
a
in
big-
America, there is sort of a what's the word? Not a code, but there's a way that you're supposed to wear the ring if you've been a worshipful master or if you've not been a worshipful master. But
Right.
over here, it's just a.
I see. Okay. So are there people that I know that are Freemasons, but you know that I know them, but I'm not allowed to know that I know them because I'm not a Freemason.
I do
that
know
made
one
more
person-
sense. That made more sense at the beginning of the
So-
sentence.
Yeah.
Are there people that we both know
Yeah.
that I know are Freemasons and you don't?
Yeah.
I know one that was. Technically, you're always a Mason unless you've been excommunicated for whatever reason.
Again, it sounds like being gay in the 50s, doesn't it? I know he's gay.
They
'cause we had a
never
little
excommunicated
thing, but you'll never
anybody
know.
in the 50s. But yeah, I do know people, but the only reason I won't tell you is because it's for them to tell you.
Yeah, it's for
Some
them,
people
it's
might
for
not
them
want
to come out in their own time.
Yeah, but yeah.
Literally the 50s.
Well, people might not want people to know that they're a Freemason because of people do have a preconceived idea of what Freemasons are. Like when
Yeah.
I first joined, there's a girl that I was best mates with her from the age of 11, and when I joined, she just decided because I was now a Freemason that I must be misogynistic. Like I've known this girl for at the time 20 years. But just by me doing one thing like that, despite the fact she knows everything about
Yeah.
me, that has made her completely change her entire feelings on me.
Strange that.
Bitches be tripping, mate.
Bitches be tripping. I told her, I said, calm down, love. Calm down, love. Go and bake a cake.
Yeah.
Pat her on the head.
Get your smelling salts out and go and knit some embroidery.
Calm your tits down, love.
Calm your tits. Fucking hell. Okay, so you know the interviews that
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Have you ever conducted an interview?
No, it's the worshipful master that conducts the interview.
What sort of questions do you get? Can we do a mock interview now? Can
Yeah.
we do okay, so cool. So
There's certain questions you have to be asked, and I genuinely can't remember what they are.
Okay.
So it's not that I'm not.
How long have you been in it for?
I think it's what year is it now? 2021. About 7 or 8 years, I think.
okay, so let's sit each other down and pretend like we don't know each other.
Yeah, literally, all we're doing when you're being interviewed is this person all right?
So how
is
would
he going to
you-
fit in?
How
with
would
us?
you know that though? How would you?
Like, let's say it's a job interview.
So what sort of questions would you ask me?
What do you do? Is this, what do you do for a living?
I'm a stand-up comedian and podcaster.
So we'll go with stand-up comedian for now. And
Behave,
that's sort of posh.
I got 44 Patreons.
Hang on.
Go on. And thank you to all of them. And I hope you enjoyed Pigoted Extra.
You've just reminded them now that they're patrons, so now they know that they need to cancel it.
Just leave it 1 more month. We'll change. I promise we can change.
So yeah, we'll ask you that. So you're a comedian.
Yes.
So one of the things that would suggest to me is that you gig at night, which is when meetings happen. So
That's
can you
correct.
commit to attending the meetings and practices?
When are the meetings?
Let's say the once a month ours is on a Monday, so it's perfect for me.
Well, that's great. I don't do Beat the Frog anymore. So
And you could do Fridays and Saturdays most of the time, couldn't you, as well?
Throwing shade.
Yeah.
Throwing pure shade. On
But
my...
yeah, so yeah, if it was a Friday or Saturday, you'd struggle with that.
Yeah, I go, all right, yeah, I can't because of work. But if it's a Monday,
Yeah.
then that is great for me. I
So
don't usually work Mondays, and I'm very passionate about learning your secrets.
You see, that's really what we don't want people to join for. And the reason we don't want people to join for
Don't
that is
open with the secrets.
you'll leave.
Like,
You'll leave
What?
it like 2 weeks later when you go, oh, it's just this.
yeah.
I'm
People
really
quit.
passionate about making a long-term commitment, secrets or not. In fact, if anything, I couldn't care less about this. Don't tell me. Don't you tell me the secrets.
Ever.
What I want to do is I want to be a entered apprentice, and I'm happy just
For the
doing
rest
that.
of your life.
For the rest of my life, I want to be the bitch of the fucking lodge. I'm happy. Next question.
So then we would ask you things like, do you know any Masons? Are you family with any Masons?
Yes, I know Brother Gleeson.
You wouldn't call me that because
But I
I'm
know
not your brother.
But I know to
And I
call
never
him
will be.
Brother Gleeson if I'm ever doing a demonstration. So I know that. I know Ryan Gleeson, who is a Mason. He actually said he was the top dog. So you should know him. I know 1 or 2 Masons knocking about. I also know some Masons that I don't know are Masons. So I'm excited to find out. Or am I? What else?
And then it's like, if you ever been in trouble, are you going to bring? We're trying to then decide whether or not you're going to bring the lodge into disrepute.
I have a criminal record
For what?
for stealing car badges when I was 13.
Car badges.
Fucking car
Volkswagen.
badges. What, sorry?
Was it Volkswagen?
There were some Volkswagens, although Volkswagens were quite low down the list.
Who just sell them to, though?
I've also...
He probably put them on his wall.
All the kids at school, I was like 12.
You got a criminal record for that?
Yeah. Oh, well, we destroyed a Morris Minor.
Oh.
So, yeah, because the thing is with Morris
You left
Minor...
that
How
bit
many
out.
badges were on it?
Well, one, but it was welded on. So most of these car badges,
It's a little split
you can
pin
get it
type
off.
thing, innit?
Yeah, you can get it off with a butter knife. You can like with BMW, you can just literally pop it off like that. But with like the older cars and the fancier cars, they're literally welded on. I don't know if you know if you've ever tried to steal a Rolls Royce's thing.
I haven't, no.
It's actually on a string.
I know I'm from
string now.
Liverpool, but
Yeah.
I'm not the thief here.
They're on a string.
Yeah.
And so you pull it like that, and the hood ornament just goes whoop, like that.
Oh, it just goes back in.
Yep. Yeah, so I did that. And then I also dealt weed for a while and some other drugs. This is a comedy podcast for anyone listening. But I don't do that anymore.
Since when and why?
Well, since Edinburgh 2015,
Right.
and because I don't have to pay for Edinburgh accommodation anymore.
Right, so there's probably a risk there, isn't there? That
I wouldn't say
next
so.
time you need money, you're going to start dealing smack to kids again.
That's not true at all, and I resent it, worshipful master. The whole reason that I'm going in the Freemasons is so you'll fucking look after us with some of your dollar.
Yeah, that doesn't happen either.
Rah, what the fuck? So, right, okay. What is, if you don't get access to like special privileges and stuff,
Yeah.
if you don't get special backhand deals and shit,
Yeah,
if nothing of the things that I think happen,
yeah.
what is the actual perks? What's the reason?
It's just something to do, isn't it?
Time away from the wife and kids.
Pretty much spot on.
They just want to get out for the bevy.
Really? Yeah, but you could just go to the pub.
No, but
and
this
not
is
wear
like
a fucking
no, but
apron
it's different though.
and
It's not
call
like
people
going,
brother.
oh, Barry's
many-
going
yeah.
down the pub. Oh, am I all right to go? And like, no, I have to go here. It's my ritualistic duty to turn up on Thursday.
But
at
hang
8.
about. I don't know anybody that's in a relationship where if you said I'm just going down the pub with my mates, your other half would go, no, you're not.
But there is though. You might not know them, but there'll be fellas who have wives who don't want them going out because she's not going
Well,
out.
are they going
or
to want them to join the Freemasons then? Because I would argue that if you're...
That's
With the
thing,
Freemasons,
your family has
though?
your family has to be behind you as well.
but also with the
You're just
Freemasons,
gonna quit otherwise.
If your other half is like, I don't want you going down the pub with David because David's a bad influence. You're like, all right, I'm not going to go down the pub with David, but what I am going to do is go to this creepy old lodge and drink with a load of men that you don't know and I don't know. Is that okay? They're
but
gonna be
she
like,
can join that though.
Yeah, but she's not going to want to.
Well, that's
though,
that's
is
that's
she?
her thing, though,
she
isn't it?
can't. She can't join the lodge.
No, but she could join the Freemasons, couldn't she?
She could.
Yeah,
well, if
she
there's one-
would-
if there's
she's
a
not
lodge
getting
nearby,
invited
yeah.
down the pub with
she
Dave.
could join in the same way that like girls can join cadets. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you'll always get one or two lesbians, but oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, most people join because a lot of people join to raise money for charity. That's the reason that they join.
So that's what a lot of it is, raising money for charity.
Yeah, Freemasons raise more money for charity than any other institution in the UK after the National Lottery.
That
It's the
is pretty
second
good.
biggest charity fundraiser in the UK.
What sort of charities do you raise money for?
Anything.
Really?
Yeah, we have our own charity, the Masonic charity, which a lot of that goes to help Freemasons in times of trouble.
Well, there you go. That's
Yeah.
like what I was saying.
Yeah,
then.
but
don't
what
need
we
to
don't
sell
do is
crap.
go.
Get my fucking Edinburgh show sorted.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Get me
not going to
10
happen.
grand from the Freemason Fund. I want to do the Pleasance.
Yeah.
If
Get
you-
Gabby Gerard doing my PR.
If you're in a really bad situation, then people will help you out with that and things.
That's such a niche fucking
I know, I've
comedy
got no
reference.
idea who you're talking about.
Hospitals as well. So if you've got a waiting list of X amount of time, then the Freemasons will pay for you or some of it for you to go private.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about that.
Could you
Once a
sign
month
up?
and you get fucking...
Ew.
Once a month and you get Bupa healthcare. I'm
Not
fucking
quite.
about... Yeah, but close enough.
Yeah.
How long would you have to be involved for them to help you with your healthcare? Because like if you got sick
Yeah.
and you couldn't afford it, could I go right? I'm just going to sign up
there's-
and then next
it's
week
not
they'll
as
pay
simple
for
Well,
it?
next week, like, oh, I've got cancer,
Yeah.
lads.
I'm dead
Just
ill.
join for a
I
week.
got dicky tummy.
Yeah.
SARS.
Yeah, it's not as simple as just going off, and it's like, because it is through an insurance policy, I think. I'm not sure whether it's our own insurance policy or whether it's a private one.
Right.
But there are boxes to tick for you to be able to go and get the treatment. It's not a case of you've got 13 weeks, like especially at the moment where there is a backlog that can't be helped anyway, then probably things might change.
What happened with COVID?
That wasn't our fault.
No. It might have been, you won't tell us anyway.
That was a guy in China fucking a bat.
But, like, did you all have to stop meeting, or did you
we haven't met.
like...
I haven't met since March 2019.
Have you had to come up with a new handshake?
The Grand Lodge of England stopped any Masonic activity from going on, and we've only just been allowed to start again.
Can you shake hands again now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But we couldn't meet, we couldn't practice, we couldn't do anything at all. There was no official activity was allowed to go on at all during, up until, I think it was May this year.
I'm kind of gutted that I thought that this was going to be like a
Illuminati
expose.
Chat.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be Illuminati expose.
So boring.
Is that annoying that like the Illuminati is so close knit with the stone the Freemason symbol?
Because the Illuminati split up like it was some German guys in like the 1680s or something like that, and they only lasted about 2 years anyway.
What's the skull and bones? Is that
that's the Nazis or pirates?
No, the organization. No, not like the symbol. Like a skull and bones crew or something, isn't it? Group. I'm sure like some presidents and stuff were involved. No. Can you? Are you Googling?
The skull and bones.
Yeah,
crew.
I don't know anything about this.
Maybe not crew. I just said crew.
Crew was a throw.
But I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure like presidents from America have been involved in like this group of people.
Yeah.
The order.
Oh right, so that's like it's another kind of Masonic. It's not Masonic, but there's like the Royal Order of the Ancient Buffalo or something.
Sounds like
that.
a Harry Potter book.
Yeah,
so Harry Potter and the Royal Order of the Ancient Buffalo.
They're not, that's nothing to do with Freemasonry. That's a completely separate thing altogether.
But just the Freemasons seem to be the ones that get tied in with Illuminati and all the
because if you think about it, you know the Round Table. They always do all the local bonfires and Santa and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a member, but it's similar to that.
Right.
It's it's that's the kind of thing. But the Round Table don't seem to get all of because it's not as well known.
Yeah.
Then they don't get all of the they got my mate's cousin off murder because the judge is in the same lodge as him.
Yeah, right.
Let me ask, right, so you mentioned that you were a member, you've been a member for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Right. What percent better is your life thanks to Freemasons? So you know how some people are like, well, look, ever since I started doing yoga 7 years ago, my life is 100% better or whatever. Like, what sort of level of improvement of an increment has it had on your life?
It's not just me, it's me and my family, but probably I'd say about 10% from me personally benefiting directly from Freemasonry. As me as a person...
It's quite a lot, though.
Yeah, me as a person, it's probably improved me mentally and growing sort of as an individual, probably quite a bit more than that.
How though?
Because I've got ADHD, I'm a comedian, none of those things have any structure to them at all.
Right, okay.
I go to this thing once a month and it's structured. I have to behave, I have to do, it's very, very...
disciplined teaching.
Disciplined, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So it's helped me be aware of when I'm not being disciplined myself. So I have like 100 ideas all at once and then never go through with any of them.
Yeah.
But now I can start to go through with things. I wouldn't have a comedy club if I wasn't a Freemason. Not because that's helped, but because it's centered me as an individual mentally.
So it's given you the grounding to be able to succeed in stuff like that?
Hugely.
How? What have they done? Is it just the ritual side of things?
No,
or
no.
Have they have they mentored you? Or?
I think it's a subliminal mentoring. So it's more like I'm with people who are successful businessmen or they are retired guys who have got a lot more world knowledge than I have. And just by associating myself with those people, like they say, if you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people.
Yeah.
If you want to be a goat fucker, surround yourself with Masons.
So are you like, do you draw on their knowledge then? So let's say, for example, you have a problem with your comedy club.
Yeah.
And there's like a thing with the council or whatever. You can speak to somebody who has that problem and you can say, like, listen.
How did you deal with this?
Brother fucking Bill or whatever.
Yeah.
One of my best mates, well, he is my best mate in our lodge. He's a plumber. So he will come round and he will just do the odd thing for me for free, or he'll do it at mates rates, or he'll fit me in when he couldn't normally fit me in. You know, things like that. In return, he gets free tickets for the comedy club because he's massively dug us out the shit a few times.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, there's builders, there's
Like a
sparkies.
networking event.
Exactly the same as that.
Okay.
What was it that made you go, right, I need something in my life here? Freemasons is the way to go.
It wasn't really like that. It was more of I wanted to become a Freemason because my uncle died when I was about 14 and I found out he was a Freemason.
Right.
So I always wondered what it was.
Sounds like the beginning of a murder mystery, this, doesn't it?
And then I moved on. I found out that my dad's cousin, we're similar ages, he was a member of a lodge and it was him that actually proposed me to become a Freemason.
So like when you were getting into it, was you thinking like, oh, I'm going to find out all these secrets and stuff, and then you just was like sort of disappointed as well?
Not disappointed because I have found out what the secrets were that I didn't know.
Right.
But the secrets that you see on the internet are all bollocks. Like I've not had any children offered to me for sex whatsoever.
Yet.
That's when you go up a level.
Yeah, must be
That's
when I'm
third
in a
degree
worshipful
shit,
master.
that.
I am third degree.
Oh, this is fourth degree.
Yeah.
The third degrees don't know about fourth degree.
That's true.
Fourth degree is when you they tap you on the shoulder and they're like,
There you go.
hey.
Unwrap that.
Unwrap that. It's got a blindfold on it. It thinks it's at the top of the building.
7-year-old crying fat
Yeah,
kid.
push it, fuck it, do what you want with it. We won't say anything.
That never happens. Soz.
I am sort of gutted by this. I wanted it to be more than what it was.
But even if it was, you wouldn't have found out anyway.
No, but I
like
think
it still could be.
I think that I know Ryan well enough that he'd be like a bit shifty. And
his moustache covers his mouth, so you can't gauge him that well.
All the lies are here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All the lies are here.
That's where the secrets of stonemasonry.
He lifts it up, and that's if he lifts up his beard and that, you see it. That's how he gets in.
Would you ever become a stonemason, a Freemason,
Truth.
a Mason?
I would have until I found out like what the majority of it is, and then I was a bit like, oh, I'm not really that bothered about going and.
It's like learning a magic trick. You're disappointed with magic tricks once you learn how they're done.
Yeah, but if I can see the sense of community in it and stuff, but I'm not interested in that.
When I was in hospital,
really,
when I had pneumonia, I was not a well person at all. But Jen was. They were constantly in touch with Jen, and they were making sure that if she needed anything, she got helped out with things like that. That's the big thing. If I died, I know that somebody's there to look after Jen for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So somebody will always be checking up on her every at least month and seeing if there's any help you need with things. Like we've just bought a new fridge for somebody.
Sliding into them DMs.
But yeah, we've got. So we just bought a fridge for somebody. Her husband died about 20. Not fridge, cooker. Sorry.
I was going to say, what are you keeping him in?
Her husband died about 30 years ago, something like that. But that's how. So you're sort of attached to that lodge as a widow
cool,
now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what it was always about. That was where it came from. It was like a mortgage, not a mortgage, a pension for stonemasons, make sure your family's looked after, pass on knowledge and all that kind of thing. And that's what it was all about.
So say like if you was in the Freemasons and you died, then they teach your son because you're not there to...
Only if he joined.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, like back in the day, though, would that not have happened?
Well, the stonemasons would have been passing it on to that guy's son, because... they used to have codes and secret language so that nobody could just pick up what they were learning.
Right.
And, by overhearing it. So you've got a joiner on a building site, for example, listening in because he gets paid more as a stonemason. I might as well move over to that. So that's where the sort of the...
Does that actually happen? The whole get paid more because they're a stonemason?
No, that was like in the olden days on a building site. Stonemasonry was always a higher It
was harder.
Yeah.
Would you want your kids to become stonemasons?
In a job?
No, like masons.
Oh, Freemasons?
Yeah, Freemasons.
No,
stonemasons.
I'm
getting them confused.
If they want to, they can do, but it doesn't mean anything to me. It'd be nice, but it's not something that I'd push them into.
Oh, right, okay. So it's not like something... So even though it's benefited your life,
Yeah.
you wouldn't like...
It wouldn't benefit everybody.
Right, okay. So who would it not benefit? Like, just in case anyone's listening to this going, well, this actually sounds quite good. Like, who's not right to be a Freemason? I keep getting Freemason.
When you say who wouldn't it benefit, it would benefit anybody, but it's whether or not who's right. And anybody is right to be a Freemason, providing you're an honest person and you aren't a dick. That's pretty much it. That's all it is.
Okay. Can you ever be kicked out or discommunicated? Like,
Yeah.
like, what are the things that you get kicked out for? Slagging off the Masons?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what you would be kicked out for.
What do you reckon, Dean?
Well, there's got to be, some of it's got to be like letting people in on the whatever secrets that there are. Just giving them out to
showing
people
them the
must just be
handshake.
like a...
No, you
them
wouldn't
off.
get kicked out for that.
No?
No.
Just get fined or something.
Only in a non-official way.
Yeah.
There's no real comeuppance for telling somebody what happens. You're not supposed to, simply because it's not fair to the people that...
Spent the years learning it
Well,
all.
not even that. It's just it's like I said before. There are people that want to join Freemasonry and want to go through the same journey that their granddad did.
Yeah,
And if you're told all that beforehand,
spoiling it for
it
them.
spoils it, because you want
Yeah.
to experience the same as your granddad or your great granddad or your dad or whatever. You want to go through
Yeah.
that the same as he did. So
But when you say, like, go through the journey, like, you're just going to a hut once a month. Like, is it, I struggled, how is that a journey?
only because you've got different stages in Freemasonry, different steps in Freemasonry. That's what they're called. So your first step is you ask to join and become a Mason.
Yeah.
And then your second step is you're a fellow crafter and then a Master Mason. And then you start going around all the different offices in the lodge.
Yeah.
Then you're the Worshipful Master and go up through to Provincial and Grand Lodge. And then you die.
How mad would it be if you, like, suddenly, like, you decided, like, tomorrow, Dean, like, you went away from this and you were like, do you know what? Ryan speaks a lot of sense. That sounds like the kind of thing that I really want to do. I'm going to become a Mason.
Yeah.
And then you asked to join and they said, come on in for a meeting or whatever.
Yep.
And you passed your interview and it was your first day as an apprentice. And you walked in and literally everyone you fucking knew was an apprentice.
Was already in there.
Yeah, it was already in there.
That'd be quite good though, wouldn't it? You'd be
No,
like,
would you
"Oh."
not be like...
No, because I'd be like, wait, I can hang out with all my mates now.
Yeah, but
Without
you,
feeling guilty or
you'd
anything.
think that they were all your mates anyway. You'd be like, the fuck do you never tell me?
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't want you in.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
That would be the dodgy
You're like,
bit,
hey
wouldn't
guys,
it?
and they're like, oh, fuck's sake.
Oh,
He's
who
in.
told Dean?
Yeah.
Hey, where's that black ball? Where's that black fucking ball? He's a prick, this lad.
What if, like, would you be annoyed if, say, you introduce someone into it? Say you vouch for someone and they come in and then everyone liked them more than you?
Nah. What I would be annoyed with is if I brought you in and you were a dick.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
then that
on
makes
me.
you look bad.
Yeah.
Aye.
What if, like,
It's
your
like-
best
it's like
mate...
when- it's like when sometimes, as a comedian, you bring your non-comedian mate to a gig,
Sits there and
they
heckles.
or if they sit in the green room with the comedians,
Fuck.
Yeah.
and they have this weird urge, this
Yeah.
weird primal instinct comes out of them, and they go, "I can be funny too,"
Yeah.
and then they start cracking jokes, and you can see the comic friend be like, "Oh Jesus, this isn't fucking." We did it once.
Or they start listing all the comedians they've met,
We-
famous people.
Yeah.
We did it once with Hot Water.
Yeah.
There was Milo McCabe, who is an amazing comedian, who we all know. He was there, and he brought his friend, right? And we were playing poker, right? And it was like, oh, do you mind if my mate stops around us? Yeah, absolutely. And there was something about his mate that just it was like his mate had like deer caught in the headlights thing, was pretty pissed,
Yeah.
and just decided that they had to assert themselves as being the funniest person in the room.
Fucking hell.
But the thing is like, you know what it's like when when loads of comics get together that don't know each other,
Yeah.
I find it torturous because everyone jostles for position as the funny one.
Oh,
And I
the
think
alpha,
it's-
yeah.
I think it's just because no one else feels comfortable, exhibiting a different role in that conversation.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be I'm the funny one, and it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
But when comics are like mates, they can just talk to each other like normal,
Have a
and there's
conversation,
nothing
yeah.
worse than having somebody like, and I'm funny too.
Yeah,
Look at the
yeah,
things
yeah.
that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh God. So it reflects badly on you if you
I bring a dick in.
bring a dick in.
Yeah. Yeah, because I vouched for him. I proposed that they are good enough to join this lodge.
Did they take you to one side and go, Ryan, who the fuck's this nerd?
You'd know straight away.
Be getting sly looks from the
You'd just be like,
masterful chief or whatever.
Oh, you'd know. There'd be an atmosphere. It'd be like, yeah, you're not proposing anyone again.
Has anyone ever come in, right, and they've been coming to the lodge, and you're like, oh, I fucking hate this person. Like, I really hope this person fucks off. Like, they're just, for whatever reason, me and them, we just don't have the same personality.
I've seen it. I've never seen that, but I've never had that, but I have seen it.
Really?
Yeah, where people, there's 2 or 3 that just can't stand each other.
It's either him or me.
Yeah.
And you have to, because you're in lodge and everything's sort of, everything's got to be disciplined and structured. You've still got to maintain that inside the lodge. But then you go to the bar or whatever, and you can tell there's that atmosphere there. But then they go back upstairs into the lodge and everything. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I've just thought of a really funny idea to do to somebody. I say it's funny, it's actually really cruel. So you know how you said that if 2 Masons have an argument, then they can never go back until they've made up.
Yeah.
So how funny would it be to join day 1? Pick on the most senior guy
And never
go,
resolve it.
he's a fucking prick, him. He's a fucking wanker. We have got beef going back years.
Yeah.
We need to get this resolved.
Yeah.
And then just fuck
Just
off
never
and
come
never
back.
come
Yeah.
back.
It's just left outside in the cold.
15 years I've been in this lodge. This close to being a masterful Mason. Oh, fucking hell.
It'd be an expensive joke.
What, do you have to pay to get in?
Yeah. Yeah, you have your subscriptions every
Here
year.
we go.
Oh, here we fucking
Yeah.
go with
Where do you think the charity money comes from?
At silent auctions and stuff.
Little dinner party.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, that's
thought.
something. No, you have your subscriptions because
Can you tell us how
there's
much?
200,000 Freemasons in the UK.
How much do you
at the
pay a
minute.
month?
It depends on your lodge. There's
How much
you
do you specifically pay a month?
You pay it annually, but
How much?
I can't. I think. It's,
Doesn't want to disclose it.
No, I think it's about 200 a year.
Oh, right. Okay. That's not actually that bad.
Well, that goes
I
towards
thought-
your own build. That goes towards our building to
Yeah.
maintain that. It goes to some of that then goes up to provincial to pay for the admin that they deal with, and the Grand Lodge for the admin. That
To
they
be
deal with.
fair, I actually thought that it was going to be like just past your driving test car insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 12 grand a month or something.
Yeah,
a year.
right.
When you first
1,800
join,
quid.
Yeah.
when you first join, the first year is more expensive because you've got other things to pay for, like
Your
joining
robes and
fees
your
stuff.
apron and
well,
your...
you buy them yourself anyway. But,
How much does your apron cost?
I don't know because I've had it for a while.
It's not like gowns at uni, is it? Where
No,
they just
no.
fucking rinse you.
no, they're not
Okay.
extortionate at all.
Still, for 200 quid, you proper fuck someone. Like, if let's say me and you had beef,
Yeah.
right, and I did that,
Yeah.
it would piss you off massively, wouldn't it?
Nah.
Yeah, it would.
No, because again, you'd look like the dick.
No, but
So I'm
you,
all right with that.
But you wouldn't be allowed back, would you?
Yeah,
But I thought you said if 2 Masons...
yeah. One can still go in. Like you.
Oh,
you're
you
never
both
gonna,
can't go in at the same time.
Fucking hell! If you had every single Mason that
right.
didn't like another Mason, then nobody would be in a fucking lodge. It'd be empty.
But I thought that's why you all pretended to like each other, because you didn't want to get fucking
Right,
banned.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's rarely enforced anyway. But yeah, if you've got 2 Masons that really don't like each other because something bad's happened between them, and one's already in the lodge, you shouldn't be coming in the lodge because
You
you're
just have
going
to
to
get
bring an
there
atmosphere.
Oh, right. So it's got to be like John Terry Wayne Bridge levels of fucking hate.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
Well,
just have to
it's-
get there before him every week.
But what? Yeah. What they mean is,
Just like, I'm here already, mate, go home.
Turning up at fucking
Try again next week.
2:30 in the afternoon
yeah.
for an 8 p.m.
Yeah.
show.
what they really mean is, you can't bring it into the lodge. You can both be in the lodge at the same time. Just don't bring it up in the lodge. That's really what it means.
Okay. But if the animosity's that much,
If it's causing an atmosphere, then yeah.
yeah. So if it's like he fucked my wife, then they have to sort it out.
Yeah.
But what if? Right, here we go. So what if going back to this beef thing? 'Cause
Yeah.
I honestly think that this is the most interesting bit.
Like little rap battles and that
Exactly.
between Freemasons.
Oh, imagine if that's how they settled it.
yeah.
So, right, going back to this beef thing, let's say you had beef
Yeah.
with another member of the lodge.
Yeah.
Right. And this member of the lodge, I don't know, fucked your wife or something like that, or like did something where it's so obvious that they are in the wrong.
Yeah.
And you're not in the wrong.
Yeah.
But the hatred and animosity was such that you couldn't be in the same room.
Yeah.
Do you then both have to still sort it out, or does the lodge go, you're the dickhead here, mate?
I know something similar that's happened once.
Really?
Yeah.
By similar, do you mean exactly what I just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Because there isn't anything similar to fucking
Yeah.
your wife, is it?
It is-
Fucked his goat.
It is, exactly
Kid.
that. And everybody in our lodge had sort of agreed that if he turns up, if he turns up, we're not going to the lodge.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
Well, I missed it.
baby.
I missed that.
Went
What
in
did
two
you
ways.
say?
Well, we said fucked, I said fuck wife,
Yeah.
and then he said goat, and then I said kid. Now, I felt like that joke was overlooked.
I didn't hear it.
Well, the great thing about it was, number one,
Yeah.
it's a paedophile reference.
Yeah.
Number two,
Paedophile goat.
baby goat.
goats, you know.
Do.
Yeah, but goat kid.
Yeah.
So it worked on two levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was explaining the joke to Dean whilst you were talking because I felt like Dean didn't quite appreciate it as much as it should have been
he
appreciated.
probably did.
Granted, I think it was a good joke, but I don't think it was worth a minute and a half long.
No, I
explanation
just
about
like
it.
carrying this on because it looks better. That's all I'm doing. I totally got the joke from the start.
Oh, no way that you got kid and goat as well.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I just didn't hear it, and now I wish I hadn't anyway.
It was, mate, it was
Watch it back.
perfect. was
Watch it back.
superb.
You'll see me go. Oh,
Yeah.
It was superb.
What are we talking about?
You were talking about something different.
Oh,
happened.
God, yeah.
Beef.
Yeah.
Beef,
So
something-
yeah, if that has happened, and what we all did was basically say, look, if that guy's going to come into our lodge because he wasn't a member of our lodge, but the other guy was.
Oh, okay.
Then we're not coming in, and that would have meant that the lodge couldn't have opened because there weren't the people in the officers weren't there to run the lodge.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah, you do
you
look after your
all
mates.
you all sort of ganged up on him in a way and just sort of
well, I wouldn't
or,
say
or,
ganged
or,
up.
or stuck
Yeah,
up for the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
yeah, because you don't do that.
But is there also like hierarchy that comes into it? So it's like, listen, shut up, bitch. You're like a fucking entry level apprentice, and I'm a fucking super master mason.
Yeah, it can do. It can do,
So you
but
pull rank?
not in that where if two people have done wrong, rank doesn't come into it. If you've done something so bad to somebody else and they're completely innocent, then you would all side with the innocent one.
When can you pull rank? Is there any point where you can pull rank?
No. The only time you pull rank is when you're in lodge and you're the worshipful master. It's your lodge. You do whatever you want, really. You don't, but that's what you say.
Alright, so it's like you run things there.
Yeah, you're the king of that room.
Do you have people trying to suck up to you? Because you mentioned before that there were bitches.
In the
Are you at the level where people suck up to you?
No. Your sucky ups are really where you've got, I said before, your light blues, which are people that aren't yet, they haven't been invited to provincial or Grand Lodge status. So you have to be the worshipful master first, and then you'll be asked to move up to the provincial or the Grand Lodge of England. So you'll find a lot of people that haven't yet been asked to move up will do quite a bit of brown nosing to make sure that they get asked to move up. So then they get the dark blue apron and they can go, look, I'm provincial or I'm from Grand Lodge.
Really?
Yeah. It's just that's the same in any job. It's the same in any school. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah, but with job, more money.
It's a lot of
Pay
people
less
consider
the
it.
higher thingy you are.
No, you pay the same. But
Pay the same.
but it always people associate that dark blue apron with
A higher
seniority.
rank.
Yeah.
Alright, so like if you're having your meeting and a dark blue comes in, you're like, you notice it.
Yeah, if it's from, especially if it's, because they're the governor of your lodge. Anybody with dark blue, if you're light blue, you've got the governing bodies, haven't you?
It's like when a reviewer's in Edinburgh, and you go, oh shit, fucking Steve Bennett's in.
The different,
got his dark blue in.
Yeah. Although everybody that isn't in your lodge is a fucking reviewer when they come in and visit. Oh, we don't do it that way. Oh, you said a different word there than you should have said.
Oh, really?
Do you have
so there's different lodge beef?
Not lodge beef, but there's always that one person who, when you say something, they'll repeat it how they say it in their lodge.
Oh god, and they think they're right.
Yeah.
Do they stress the word?
Sometimes, or you can get it where somebody, because there's a lot of ritual where it's a very long thing you've got to remember. You can't read it out. You've got to remember it. And there's
how long
always,
is it? Depends
on what it is. Depends on what part of it is that you're doing. Like there's a bit that I'm learning at the moment that's probably 5 minutes of speech, and there's no pause for laughter in those bits either. It's all just one continuous thing.
Yeah.
And
so read a bit out for me now. Can you read a bit out for me?
I can't. I don't know it. Don't know it. But
can you read a bit out of something that you've memorised?
No, because I've not done anything for 18 months, so it's all gone.
I see.
But there's a bit where you start. If you came in as an entered apprentice, I read you the charge, it's all about the history of Freemasonry, the apron, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it explains it all to you. And if I stopped just to breathe in, for example, you'd have somebody sat from a visiting lodge that tries to jump in and tell you what the next word is. It's like, really? I know what the next word is. I'm just breathing in.
Yeah. So it's like when police do, like, you know, you have the right to remain silent. Yeah. You know, I'm here to tell the whole truth.
Yeah, but there's nobody punching you while you're handcuffed.
Oh, right.
You are handcuffed though.
Yeah, that's downstairs.
Yeah. Do you have like inspections, like surprise?
What, like Ofsted?
Like Ofsted, yeah. Coming in and being like, hey, just making sure you're all doing the right shit and that.
Yeah, they sit at the back, and then all the naughty Masons get moved out of the lodge while that inspector's in, so that the room looks perfect. No, they don't have that. No, but you do have
So how do you know that there's standardisation going on across
Because those from Provincial and those from Grand Lodge will visit, they come round and they do visit.
So it kind of is like Ofsted?
No, they're just there as technically a guest, really, of the lodge.
But they come just to check up?
They don't check up on you, no, but they just...
But let's say
it doesn't work like that.
Let's say that someone from Provincial was in, right? And you guys were not doing what you were meant to do. You were having a fucking beer pong tournament or whatever. Would the person from Provincial not be like, you know, like writing something in a little black book?
I wouldn't say so, no. But
it'd get fed back, though, wouldn't it?
Back, yeah.
And then you get shouted at, like the worshipful master or whatever gets shouted at.
Well, not really. It doesn't, because the worshipful master's not really in charge of that ritual thing. It's the director of ceremonies that tells everybody what to do throughout the lodge. There's different rules and roles and things like that.
I want to know about the... do you know where you get your aprons?
Yeah.
You get like your white one, your light blue one. Is there a specific amount of time, or can one person come in and like absolutely smash it? And like, no, like when open spots move to like middles quicker than others. Like he got his dark blue in like 6 months in. Like
usually,
honestly, mate, it's just he's a lucky fucker, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
lucky doing weekend rituals.
I don't even rate him. I don't even rate him, mate. As far as I'm concerned, he's a white apron.
Yeah.
He's closing rituals now.
Yeah.
He's just got signed by off the curb. That's why he's
off
already
the step.
Off the step.
That's why he's already off the fucking stone curb. Yeah. That's why he's on his dark blue already.
Yeah.
Oh, they're pushing him up. They want him to be the next Chris Ramsey.
Usually, you find that it's like. It's just on time. So if you were in before somebody else, then they'd move up before you. If somebody can't attend lodge for, like, say they're working away 6 months a year, then you'd progress quicker than they would.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's not because somebody's better or worse than anybody else. It's just
smashing the rituals and that.
Smashing the goat.
I think
you keep going back to this goat, man, and like I know you. I feel like you're putting it out there to be like, hey, we don't actually
like a double bluff.
Yeah, we don't want to shag the goat.
If there was I'm trying to think like how good the club would have to be in order for me to shag a goat, and it'd have to be better than what you've described. Like in order for me to shag a goat, I would need it to be, mate, there's some really rich people here, and they just look after you forever. I'd be like, oh, fuck a goat.
Don't forget, all I've done is told you where you're wrong with your.
There's still the stuff he's not letting us know that there'll be some stuff.
Right, is there stuff that you're not letting us know?
Not intentionally, no.
No, but is there stuff that is important that we don't know?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like there must be.
Do you know what? There's going to be people listening to this who've come from the flat Earth one.
Yeah.
Who are screaming.
Oh God, yeah.
Fucking
I know
things.
that. I know there are because I've had it before where I've been asked something on the internet, like what's the like Quora?
No.
It's a website where people go on and
That's where you just
ask
read that
questions.
thing from.
Oh,
You literally
right,
just
okay.
reading from it then.
Yeah.
So I've always been pronounced it Quora, like corn.
A corn. Yeah.
Quora. Yeah, well, Quora.
Yeah.
I got asked something on there and I answered it, and then I had about 50 people all going, "Well, no, because my uncle said this, and he was a Mason, and this happened, and that happened, and you're lying, and this is wrong, and why are you telling me there's no secrets when there are?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't be asked arguing with you, mate,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've given an answer that's honest. You don't know who I am. I'm telling you the truth. If you want to believe something else, believe it.
Yeah.
But what I will tell you is that it's fucking fun. Like it's this, it's the social functions.
Yeah.
The social functions are the best bits, not the lodge bit. The lodge
Do
bit.
you all get pissed and like?
Fuck yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like
I'm
leathers.
back in now.
good,
I'm
yeah.
back in now.
Yeah. This is the thing that there's two sides to Freemasonry. There's the lodge stuff, and then there's the social stuff.
How
And
much
social
is a
stuff,
pint though at your fucking lodge?
It's cheap.
How much is cheap?
It's about the same as my gig, so it's like £3 something a pint.
A nice little plug there. cheap
never
cheap
said the
pints at the
name.
comedy
Yes.
station.
Comedy station in Blackpool, just opposite the Blackpool Tower. Open Friday and Saturday nights.
Actually, number one on TripAdvisor in Lancashire. So
That's because all this Freemason mates so jumped on and
Exactly,
gave it 5
yeah.
stars on it.
Exactly. That's all the fucking entered apprentices
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
suck
yeah.
up.
yeah, the Duke of Kent left me a 5-star review for a comedy club in Blackpool.
Do you
Well-
listen to like Stone themed music?
Like Stone Roses.
Stone Roses, Stone Temple
Well, we do have
Pilots.
there is an
Stone
organist.
Sour.
There is an organist who's supposed to play music.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
Lovely.
Yeah, there is an organist who
Have
plays
you
some.
seen him dressed in blue?
I'm just trying to think of more of these now.
But yeah, he just plays whatever. Well, usually when the Dark Blues
Just an
come in, he
organ.
plays
You
the
all get down
Stormtrooper
to an
music.
organ.
You know, they're not a
What?
Stormtrooper. Like when
The
Dark
Imperial
Blue-
March.
Yeah, when the Dark Blues come in, you can hear it.
That's hilarious.
Dude,
Stone
oh,
Mason
man.
banter is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Freemason, sorry.
I'd want, if I was coming in, I'd want the fucking riff from Sally Cinnamon.
What's that?
But yeah, you can have anything you want,
Can you?
Pretty
What,
much.
Like a wrestler, like intro music.
pretty much.
Oh,
Do you like
man.
parodies, like free falling, but Freemasons?
He has done.
Tom Petty.
He doesn't sing. He doesn't sing.
Freemasons.
He doesn't sing the songs. He just plays the organ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like a full-on chorus. Just sat there on his own with a little Elton John number going on.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so yeah, they're little bits where you can add a bit of character into a meeting without it, because there's nothing set.
I do it for the piss up.
Yeah.
I do it for the little backhanders that you definitely don't get. I'm not asked about the charity. I'm not asked about your secrets either.
Yeah.
Can I join?
Yeah.
Just based on that?
Yeah.
You gonna do it?
Oh, okay.
Should try and do it. They might watch your stand up though online and go, imagine like all your special like
Oh, like how I lost my fucking literary agent.
yeah.
They're looking at me on
They go,
on
"We'll just
Have a
check
Word
up on
podcast
that."
talking about manipulating women.
I'll tell you
and they
what,
go, we're
mate.
not having him.
You'd actually fit
Bad for the
right in.
cause.
Well, he's not allowed in 2 of the lodges.
yeah.
No, they'd make you your own lodge for that. Some of them are you would be considered quite left wing in front of some Masons.
I am quite left wing. I'm left centre.
You're
I'm just
centre,
not.
Freddie.
I'm
You're
just
centre.
not.
You're centre.
I'm left leaning. I get
Centre.
I get more.
You are actually left leaning right now.
Yeah, no. I get writer as the more shit I own, I become writer.
Yeah.
The minute that I'm gonna fucking sign off on my house in a few weeks, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Fuck the immigrants. You know, I'm bloody glad we left Europe.
Do you have to just leave that for a little edit for?
Edit that out.
Do you, are they worldwide? Like,
Yeah. I
not-
could go into any lodge in the world now.
what-
Afghanistan.
are they actually like in every
Probably
country?
somewhere.
No.
I bet there is.
Afghanistan Lodge.
I bet. Well, it's not going to be called. It's not like England Lodge. Like there was one in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And everybody has to go all at the same time. It's fucking massive.
Okay. Are there any countries where you're not in right now?
What do you mean?
Like
Anywhere you want to branch
Freemasonry?
out to?
They've all got their own governing bodies of that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Even India.
Yeah. There's loads in India. India used to be... Do you not remember the history of India,
Well,
Freddie?
yeah, I know, but India is our second most listened to country on Pigoted. And I'm always literally fucking amazed that there's some dude in Mumbai on the way to his job.
He's trying to figure out what your Patreon login is. That's what he's doing. And then thought, fuck it, not worth the hassle.
Oh, mate. Well, this has been fun. Thank you for coming on. If we've missed any comments or questions about Freemasonry, let us know in the comments on YouTube. Yeah. And also, if you think Ryan is lying, let us know in the comments and he'll respond to every single one.
I will. I absolutely will.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. That'll help the algorithm, won't it? Yeah. Before we go, is there anything that you want to plug, Dean?
Yes. I do a podcast called The Mild High Club, and follow me on social media.
Mild High
Club.
I see what you've done there.
So we get mildly high.
Okay.
We don't really anymore, but we did when we were doing it in our house.
Yeah.
But for anyone watching, we're always stoned.
Secrets of the trade. Okay.
And just follow me on social media and that, Dean Coughlin _
Ryan, I believe that you run some sort of very poorly reviewed comedy club.
Yeah, it's got the worst reviews, but the best responses to those reviews on TripAdvisor.
Do have some great responses.
Some of the responses that you put on there are fucking great.
Well, I'll treat it like a fucking heckle.
The bloke that fucking turned up to the wrong gig and had the
wrong venue, the wrong comedian, and the wrong company.
That was madness.
Imagine, that's like going to a fucking Bella Italia and being like, you know what, they didn't do any curry.
Yeah.
It's just like...
No Big Macs.
Fuming. It was mad, that.
It's fucking great. So what's your comedy club again for people that don't know?
Comedy Station Comedy Club in Blackpool. It's the best fucking comedy club in Lancashire.
And it is genuinely very good. And I'm not just saying that because you're right next to me and book me. I genuinely really enjoy it. And if you've been pre-lockdown and you've seen it and you've gone, well, this is quite nice, go again post-lockdown, because post-lockdown and pre-lockdown, they're like two different clubs.
Yeah, we've polished the turd.
We finished it.
Yeah, actually, finally completed it. Finally completed it.
Yeah, and also we're going to have a break now, and then we're going to go and record Pigoted Extra. It is an extra episode just for Patreons. If you are enjoying this podcast, then check it out on Patreon, patreon.com/Pigoted. You can sign up from just £3 a month. I really want to get to the point with Patreon where this podcast pays for itself. We are not there yet. Obviously, we've got to pay for, the studio and the editing and the recording, and all of these come with associated costs. And right now, I foot the bill for it because I like doing the podcast. But if you like the show, if you enjoy it, you can contribute for just £3 a month, and you get a ton of extra content, early release. Access to Discord servers. How much is £3 a lot or not too much for you?
Well, let the number of patrons you've got decide that.
Yeah, not a lot actually. Do you know what? If everybody listening to this just gave £1 a month, then I could afford to be a Freemason for a year.
That's what you want to do.
And that'd be fucking fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How about this? If I get to 100 Patreons, I will join Freemasonry, I will find all the secrets, I will tell you them all, and then I'll fucking leave. Yeah. Don't give a shit. I'll bust the lid wide open on this sex cult. Thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube and whatever podcast platform you're listening to. We'll see you again next week. Bye! This episode of Pigoted is sponsored by Taylor's Toys. Taylor's Toys are a sex toy company. They specialise in doing high-quality sex toys that won't fall apart after 1 or 2 uses. Head over to taylorstoys.co.uk, check out the amazing range that they've got on offer, and if you use the discount code PIGOTED at checkout, you get yourself 10% off on all products. Taylor's Toys. Spice things up in the bedroom. Thank me later.